Good morning. I'm coming to you a few minutes late this morning. Had a fabulous networking meeting this morning, Building CEOs. If you haven't joined, go over to Facebook and check it out. Building CEOs. We meet every Tuesday morning at 8:15 till about 9:15. We always learn some really cool things over there. So if you're not a part of that group, go over there and join. And as you know, this morning, we are going to be talking about the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. And we are doing chapter 12, the law of empowerment. The law of empowerment. You know, empowerment seems to be this word that gets thrown around so much, but do people actually know what it means? What weight it carries? Okay, so we're going to talk about this morning. I hope everybody can hear me okay. And for those of you watching, throw down some comments. I actually don't have any eyeballs on me yet, but hopefully somebody will join and watch and learn something, I hope. Okay, so I'm back. The law of empowerment. Only secure leaders give power to others. Only secure leaders give power to others. Insecure leaders gather power, they power up on other people. They take power away from each other, right? Empower people around you. So this is so incredibly true. All right, so let's talk about this for a sec. We've mentioned this over the other laws as well. This is something that's near and dear to my heart. And I'm going to talk about it again this morning because it's so important and it's so true. A lot of times leaders withhold their information because they don't want to share it. They're insecure. They're afraid that if they share their knowledge, they share their business lessons, they share the things that they've had to overcome, then somebody's going to supersede them in their industry and be more powerful. All right. Good morning. Who's watching? Say hi down below so I can see who you are. Thanks for watching. So only secure leaders give power to others. Insecure leaders power up on people. They group up, power up, and take away. All right. So remember that if you are a good leader, you're going to take all of that knowledge that you have. You're going to take the lessons that you've had to learn the hard way. Good morning, Jen. Hi, sweets. Let me stick you up on the screen here. You are going to, sorry. If I lost my train of thought, I was trying to do more than one thing at once, and you know I can't do that. Okay, so if you have a business and people see you as successful, but you've learned a lot of hard lessons along the way, and it took you a long time to get where you're going, it would behoove you to share those lessons to other people so they can get to a level of success without having to make all of those mistakes. This way, you've saved them some time, you've saved them you've shared your experience. But a lot of leaders don't like that. They want to withhold their information and kind of behind the camera think, oh, she's doing that, but it's not going to work. Or he's doing that, but it's not going to work. Share them, empower them, okay? Empower them. Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. The best executive is the one who has sense enough to pick good men to do what he wants done and self-restraint enough to keep from meddling with them while they do it. That's Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt. So let's ask some questions here and see what your answers are. Throw down your comments in the comment section. Let's see. Let's make this super interactive. How many of you worked under the leadership of someone that undermined you? And how was your performance or how was the morale? Okay. Throw down your comments so I can see them. I'll put them up on the screen. How do you think your morale would be if you've worked with somebody that's constantly undermined you and never allowed you to flourish? What do you think that looks like? All right, so this has happened to, I think, a lot of us. And it's like kids. I mean, think about it. For those of you who have children, think about it like this. If you're constantly scolding your children, they're not going to do as much as you want them to as if you are lifting them up and empowering them to do a good job. You know, so they may not scrub the floor or do the dishes as well as you would. But when you say, hey, thanks for doing that, that really helped me, you're implementing good morale and good characteristics for these kids. It's the same thing with work. If you're constantly beating down your employees and telling them that they're not doing a good job, you have to raise them up, because if you don't, they're not going to do a good job. It's almost like, and this is so true. We have proved this a lot of times. It's like a thief, right? They weren't always a thief, but if you accuse somebody of doing something enough, you're basically giving them the idea to do it. And you are then creating them in a role of becoming that thief. Have you stolen this? Where'd you get this from? I don't believe you, blah, 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 blah. In the end, they might as well just steal, because they're going to get caught and accused of it anyway. So this is the same kind of thing with the law of empowerment. We have to be able to give power to others and not bring them down all the time. All right. Did you find yourself tired, annoyed, and failing, even though he or she may have been an outstanding entrepreneur, manager, or director? His leadership did not promote your growth. Have any of you experienced that? Have any of you experienced that kind of leadership where you felt like you just weren't growing because the leader was constantly putting you down, annoying you, failing you in some way? Has that happened to anybody? Type into the comment section so I can shove it up here on the screen and we can talk about it together as a group. And don't forget, thanks for watching. I love it that you guys are watching. Thank you so much. All right. So when you are, in a situation where you're not being empowered and you're being brought down, it is going to drive negative mentality, not only to you, but to everybody, because you're not going to be the only one that's being brought down. Have you ever had to work somewhere where the morale was so low? The topic of conversation every day was just negative, negative, negative. Does that make you feel inspired to go every day and do your best and work your hardest and do the things that you enjoy doing? No. It makes you think every morning when you get out of bed, I don't want to be here. I don't want to go. How can I call in sick today? What turmoil am I going to walk into this morning? And how do I get my head on, straight to combat all of that negative attitude? And that is no way to set your people up, because that is just setting everybody up, including your business, for failure. How many of you have worked with a leader who empowered you? Who empowered you? He or she gave you the right resources, responsibilities, and let go of the leash and let you achieve your potential. That's a leader who practices the law of empowerment, right? So when you're with your clients, whether, like Jen, she owns PL Bella Day Spa, whether she's with those clients that she just adores, whether you are a client of mine, being able to empower people and raise them up is what we do. So I know that Jen with PL Bella, she will raise her clients up by making sure that they feel good every time they leave. And she looks after their skin and their body and their mind. And that's huge empowerment that she does for her people. And that's what we should be doing in our businesses too. Somebody gave me a sort of a review this morning and said, that I broke their business down and helped them build it right back up again. And it's okay to break a business down if you're doing it in the correct format out of love to help them build it back up to something bigger and better than it was, right? That's empowering. All right, discuss your experiences and the differences in your performance and well-being, both professionally and personally. Discuss your experiences and the differences in your performance and well-being, both personally and professionally. Are you the same person professionally and personally? Or are you giving more to people who are strangers to you and giving less to the people that promise their lives with you? Those of you that know me have heard me tell you this story before. I'm going to say it again because I think it truly, truly hits home at this point. For you guys that are watching, thank you so much. Throw down some comments. Let me know that you're here, where you're watching from, or what you think about the broadcast. I'd love to hear you and we can engage. So we're discussing our experiences and the differences in your performance and well-being, both personally and professionally. I can tell you that there was a time in my life when I was in such a negative place in a work environment that I was in that it crushed me. I mean, it just brought me down emotionally and physically. And yet, through that turmoil, I did everything in my power to give the very best of the people that I was taking care of. I was giving and giving and giving, and I wasn't filling my cup, as we say. I wasn't getting anything in return. And so not only was I pouring out, but I was running empty. And the problem with that is that I was giving all of that love and attention and nurturing to complete strangers as a registered nurse, and which is fine. I loved it. But the negativity outshined that. And the issue I then had was when I came home at the end of the day, I had nothing left to give my family. Nothing. I was so tired and so distraught that I had nothing to give them. And the story that some of you have heard me say before, good morning, Susie. Good morning, Angelique. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Okay, one of the stories you've heard me say before is one day I actually came home from work. I'd had a terribly negative day. I had given everything that I had to give. And when I came home absolutely shattered, I walked into the kitchen, and at the time we had a little bistro set in the kitchen. And my husband and my daughter had made a candlelight steak dinner. Wine was on the table. It was just very romantic, very gorgeous. And they laid my nightdress, my pajamas, over the chair. All I had to do was open up the door, drop my scrubs, take my shoes off, wash my hands, and climb into my pajamas and sit down to this gorgeous meal that they'd worked for hours on. And do you know, when I saw that, I burst into tears and I just collapsed from exhaustion. And my husband caught me. He carried me upstairs, and he put me to bed. And I didn't even eat the dinner. And that was a time in my life when I thought, here I am, giving the very best of me to people who love me least, and giving nothing to the people who promised to spend the rest of their lives with me. Susie Kim, she says, they took advantage of me and walked all over me, her clients. Yeah. We've got to have some form of control here. When we work with people, we have to remember who we are and what we're trying to do. She says she gives too much sometimes and gets easily disappointed. She gives too much sometimes and gets easily disappointed. It's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. But as we say, you guys, you have to fill your cup too, right? You have to fill your cup too. The more you give power away, the more it returns to you, right? I know it doesn't sound like what I've just said, but we're talking about empowering people. And as leaders, when we empower and we hand that power over, the more we're going to get in return. The more we'll get in return. There are 3 barriers to empowerment, and you can see them on the screen. You've got job security. You don't want to give away any of your power to another that you are leading because you possess a fear that they will take your job away. Remember, it's in the giving that you receive. That is a cycle of life. How true is that? Have you ever gone into a business as an employee and found that you automatically find yourself in a leadership role just from your behaviors? You don't technically have a leadership role. Nobody's assigned you a role, but your behaviors and your mentality and your morale and what you do for the other employees makes you appear to be a leader there, and you start receiving the leadership from your peers. And if you're working with a manager that is jealous or insecure or frightened of the position that they hold, they want to beat you down. They want to beat you down, and they want to beat you down because they don't want to lift you up and think that you can do a better job than they can. Okay, so job security is number 1. Breathe in deeply, take in as much air as you can, and hold it all in. Don't let any out. How do you feel when you do that? Let's try this. We're going somewhere with this. So breathe in deeply. Don't let any air in. Hold in as much as you can. Hold it all in. Don't let any out. How do you feel right now? How do you feel right now? You have to exhale because you cannot hoard all of that air, right? That's the same with leadership. A true leader empowers others. All right, am I making a better life for the people that I'm leading? You should be asking yourself that. Guys, even if you are a stay-at-home parent, you're still leading. Okay. All right. So number 2 is resistance to change. Fear of the unknown holds back your potential. No one really likes change, even though most can see the advantages. Empowerment brings constant change because it encourages people to grow and innovate. How true is that? Think about this for a second. Name areas in your life where you know you are consciously avoiding change and growth. Write that down. Show me some comments, guys. I know that you're watching. This is such a good question right now with COVID-19, because I can tell you what, people are telling me all the time, I cannot get motivated. I know that I have to change. I know that I have to grow. I know that I should be doing something with my business because, I'm now teleworking. I'm now forced to be at home, but I'm just not doing it. This is an area in your life where you are consciously avoiding the change and the growth. Okay? So there's an example right now that we are living in as we speak. What's holding you back from moving forward? Find someone you can confide in and then discuss it and make a plan to move forward. Do you have somebody in your life that you can confide in, that you can discuss the things that are holding you back so that they can help you move forward? We all have to have somebody. We talked about the law of the inner circle, and that's what we were talking about, you guys. Check your inner circle for defects. If you've got a defective inner circle, you need to do something about it. Because at times like this is when you need it. You need somebody to say, this is what I think is going on. Let's see if we can raise you up and help you through it. All right. Number 3, lack of self-worth. Far too many people are afraid to venture out because they feel they are not good enough, not smart enough, not attractive enough, etc. The list goes on and on and on. Look in the mirror right now. What do you see? So guys, when we're finished today, I want you to do this exercise. Look in the mirror, write down what you see. How many of those, and then you're going to examine your list. How many of those observations were negative? Self-conscious people are rarely good leaders. They focus on themselves and what others think. They can't give power to others because they feel they have no power themselves. Look at yourself in the mirror. What do you see? Write down what you see and have a look at that list. And guys, if there's a lot of negative there, you are going to have to stand in front of that mirror and force yourself to find equal or higher amounts of positivity. It's okay to love yourself. When I look in the mirror, I see the bags under my eyes. That's the first thing I see. I've got eye bags. My hair is just always a hot mess. And I feel like I'm big. I feel like I'm large. I judge myself. Okay, those are the things that I see when I'm in the mirror. What do I love about myself? I love about myself that I love other people. I'm always there to help people. I like my eyes when they're blue and they're not all bloodshot and horrible from my allergies. So you've got to try to think of good things about yourself, not just the bad things. List each barrier you are facing and discuss your strategy to move and knock down each barrier. Okay, we have to be able to list our barriers that we're facing and discuss this strategy. Guys, I don't know, I'm sure you have seen The Pursuit of Happiness. There's a point here on the screen where in the movie, the son wants to be a basketball player, and Will Smith tells him that absolutely not. He doesn't have what it takes. It's never going to happen. He catches himself. And then he says, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. I'm getting the chills. Don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. Now, I get on my soapbox when it comes to being infinite and having infinite potential. This is what Will Smith is saying. Don't ever let anybody tell you you cannot do something, including yourself. Tell yourself you can, and all those negative naysayers that are around you, get rid of them. They don't need to be there, okay? It's hard enough in this world to do things without people dragging you down all the time. Selfish leaders are lonely leaders. Life is a journey that is meant to be spent taking others with you, not going it alone. We don't want to be alone. Guys, we don't want to be alone. Enlarging others makes you larger. Remember, leaders never finish the finish line alone. They never cross that finish line alone. Tomorrow morning, for those of you that don't normally jump on here and are watching, we are going through the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. We're doing one law a day, so 21 days, 3 weeks of just pouring into each other, pouring into leadership and growing through COVID-19, okay? We're not going to sit here and let it beat us down. We're going to raise ourselves up and raise each other up. So every single morning between 8 and 9, roughly, you're going to see me come on here live on my business page with these videos. I would love it if you invited people or if you shared these videos so that we can help more people. The assignment for tomorrow, we are going to be discussing the law of the picture tomorrow, the law of the picture. Here are the assignments. All right, number 1, people do what people see. People do what people see. What does your family see when they observe you? What does your family see when they observe you? This is a tough one because our families tend to lie. They'll say when you get out of bed, you haven't brushed your teeth, your hair's a hot mess, you've got mascara all over your cheeks because you forgot to wash your face the night before and your breath smells. Your husband's going to say, you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Lies. It's all lies. So when you go to your family and you ask them this, you guys have them be honest with you. Tell them they have to be honest with you. What do your colleagues see? What do your colleagues see? You're a solopreneur. I want you to reach out to people in a networking group that you go to or a client and see what they see. Tell them it's an assignment for leadership. Tell them it's a leadership assignment and they'll help you. Then ask your friends, what do they see? What do your friends see? So we want to know what your family sees, we want to know what your colleagues see, and we want to know what your friends see. And then, are they following the leader? Are they following the leader? All right? So important to do this. For tomorrow, for the law of empowerment. All right, so I've been on here for 22 minutes. You guys are probably like, stop talking. I hope that you're enjoying the video series. Check out my YouTube channel. I have one. I literally have subscribers right now, and we're in double digits, people. There's no messing with me on YouTube. I am like a YouTube junkie. Not really. But go ahead and like my YouTube channel and share this video if you don't mind, or let people know that every morning they can come here for some really good lessons and learnings on leadership. All right, so everybody that's watching this morning, thank you so much. Thank you for the love hearts and the thumbs up and the comments. Angelique, Jen, and Susie, I can see you guys on here from your comments. Anybody else that's been watching, I haven't been able to see, but you guys, thank you so much for throwing down comments and watching and joining. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Hi, Lynn. I was wondering where you were. I haven't seen you on here this morning. Lynn Anderson, everybody. Say hi. All right, so we're just finishing up. I will see all of you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bring a pen, bring paper, and don't forget to do your assignments. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. See ya. Bye.